Dartmoor Farming Futures was born out of a concern for the future of hill farming on Dartmoor. All the information we were getting back from the hill farming community was that they really didn't understand what was being asked of them in terms of current agri-environment schemes. They didn't know whether they were delivering them, and they just didn't own them. So ourselves, as the authority, Dartmoor Commoners Council, Duchy of Cornwall, Defence Estates, Royal Society for the Protection of Birds and South West Water were concerned to put forward a new approach to agri-environment, an approach based less on prescriptions and more on the farmers being central to delivery of environmental outcomes. With support from Natural England, we appointed an independent facilitator, John Walden, to work with the commoners to pilot this new approach on 2 areas within the National Park. And also crucially, we wanted the farming community to be involved in the monitoring of the schemes so they knew whether they were delivering. Because hill farm systems on Dartmoor are essential to the way in which the National Park looks, both in the past and in the future. They're central to the delivery of the 7 wonders of the uplands: food production, landscape, biodiversity, public access, archaeological conservation, carbon management and water management.
Farming Futures was taken forward in 2 parts. The first part was the opportunity for farmers to design their own scheme, and 2 groups of commoners worked on that design, and they came up with a very simple design that's predicated on a set of outcomes, and those outcomes reflect the range of ecosystems and public benefits that they're found on that particular common. And once the design had been completed, then Natural England enabled 2 pilots to take place on 2 commons.
Where is Haytor and what's special about it?
Well, Haytor is on the eastern side of Dartmoor and faces Torbay. It's just up on the hill from Bovey Tracy and Ashburton. It is slightly more favoured than the northern side of the moor, and is very accessible to a large number of the public who access it for their recreation.
How many active commoners are there in the current ESA agreement?
Well, there are about 8 actual grazing commoners in the existing agreement, but there are some 25 members are signed into the association as non-graziers, and they don't have any environmental benefit into the common, but they do hold a registered right with their property.
You are one of 2 pilot areas for Dartmoor Farming Futures. What public benefits or environmental outcomes have you agreed to deliver on Haytor and Bagtor?
We keep the vegetation managed, the public access paths, the access to the archaeology, the ancient stone tramway, which attracts a lot of people, leading to the Haytor quarries, where a lot of granite was mined and was quarried in the past. We through our burning, our swaling, management of the bracken and other controls, this aids the public access and gives a better enjoyment for the whole of the landscape for the public.
Where is the Forest of Dartmoor and what makes it so special?
The Forest of Dartmoor is a common right in the middle of Dartmoor, surrounded by the home commons, as we call them. It's about 11,000 hectares in size, just over, so it is a massive common. Makes it so special because it's got all the different habitats within it, with the blanket bog, the western heath, the dry heath, all the types of vegetation is on the forest.
And how many commoners are there in total?
The commoners is about 3 to 350 commoners, run by an association of elected members of a committee. Yeah, so it is a vast, people with a lot of rights have got access to the forest.
And what's important about Dartmoor in terms of the food chain?
As farmers, the Dartmoor has got a lot to offer for the food chain, with the quality of stock that run the moors, with the beef and the lamb. It's top quality.
You're currently in a higher level stewardship scheme. So why have you agreed to pilot a new approach? What is the attraction of Farming Futures?
We feel that Farming Futures gives us the ability to take more control, to almost like give us a go at setting up these the prescriptions. Under an ESA, the prescriptions are too draconian for us, with the dates we could turn out and dates we could take off, and the stocking rates, we feel, was too low. I mean, we wanted to target some of the areas within the forest with a higher stocking rate, just to see if we can open these areas up for better access, and also for the plants, trying to get a more varied type of habitats within the forest.
And these outcomes you've mentioned, how will you actually deliver these?
As commoners, we've got the ability to do it on the grazing side with the stock, the cattle, the sheep and the ponies, to deliver those, to eat the vegetation in certain areas with the different types of stock. We can move them around within the forest, and then hopefully we'll be able to achieve all these outcomes.
And how will the monitoring take place?
The monitoring, we'll do a lot of the monitoring ourselves with visual evidence, with photographic, and also the counting of the stock in certain areas. We call it policing ourselves, but there will be outside agencies as well that will be helping us do it. We've also tried to get aerial surveys done through the period of the grazing as well, to make sure the animals are in the right places.